Hi, so this is the week 9 tech demo assignment formative assessment, and it's by Allison Dermody and Anastasia Herkler.
So first, we're going to start off with the summary of this case study. So this case study is about Miss Smith, who is a 5th grade teacher, and Miss Smith teaches a language arts class with all her students in person. And the Common Core standard for this week is CCSS.ELA literacy.L.5.5.C. Use the relationship between particular words, example, synonym, and antonyms to better understand each of the words. At the end of this lesson, Ms. Smith uses paper-based exit slips as a formative assessment. She then asks a question on the exit slip. So we're going to start off with the goals. So Ms. Smith's goals are to read students' responses and use that information to help her finalize her plans for the next day's lesson. For example, some students did not understand the lesson and might need some extra instruction the next day. The second goal is at the end of the week, she wants to be able to track how individual students in the class as a whole have grown in their understanding. And then the third goal is she wants to give feedback to individual students about how well they're actually understanding each lesson. So the student knows what they have successfully learned and what they need to work on more. So now we're going to talk about the challenges. So the challenges that she faces are it's difficult to precisely evaluate students' understanding because students usually do not write really much or write answers that are vague. The second challenge is it is difficult to get a bigger picture or understanding of trends and patterns in students' understanding because it is difficult to keep that in mind as she looks through 20 individual slips of paper. The third one, it is difficult to track individual students and the whole class's growth over the course of the week. By the end of the week, she has 100 slips of paper that pile up, and she's not able to easily see how students' understanding has improved over time. So it's difficult to get students' feedback about their understanding after an individual lesson or the entire week because of the reasons above. So first, we're going to start off with the demonstration of the teacher's end. So I'll just click on here to see so everyone can see what the link looks like. So once you log in, it brings you to this page. So this is what the teacher's going to see, but we're going to go back to here. And so Ziplit is a free thing on the computer that teachers and students can use. So that's really nice that it's free because it means the teachers don't have to pay for it. And the teachers can just like use their school email to make an account, and students can do that as well. And then after the lesson about synonyms and antonyms, the teacher can ask questions for the exit ticket. So first, when you log in, what I showed you before, it goes to this page for the teacher, and you can just assign whatever class it is. And right now there's nothing on there because she hasn't been a question yet, but you're going to click on these 3 dots and this is going to pull down. So we're just going to go to ask a question. And just an example, we just wrote what questions do you have about today? And then you're going to push next, and you can say what type of response you want. So you can have a written response or a reaction response. And then you push next. And this just shows you an example of what the student side is going to see. And then you can, over here on the left-hand side, has different options that the teacher can do. So she can schedule this before the class that day and then have it ready for later. And then you're going to push Ask Now. And then this code is going to pop up. So you can put it like on your whiteboard and the students can see the code, or you can send it to them. You can email it to them. And then, so this will be after the students answer their question. You see I have one live question and I have some responses. So you're just going to click on the responses and you see my question here. And then you're going to click on that. And then down here, it'll have everyone's names and what they wrote. So you can sort through that And then the teacher can copy and paste the answers to a Google Doc to save like permanently, but the answers will also stay under the question in Ziplet. So that's really nice because they can just go to each section and then click on that. And then the demonstration for the students end, they do not need an account, so they can just go to this link, which I'll show you in the next slide. And what you do, they just have a place where they can put the code, so they can either put the code that they see on the board or the one that was emailed to them. And then this is just the code that we had from above. And then once they go in, you can put their name and they see their class and their instructor. And then this is what pops up. So this student is just going to write, I have no questions about today. I understand between synonyms and antonyms. And then they're just going to push send. And then this page lets them know that they did it right.
So some key features of this is the purpose of the exit slip activity is so that the students can complete it for the day, and then the teacher will be able to see the growth of the students and what needs to be worked on more. So I'm going to talk about how Ziplet helps the goals and challenges. So one of her goals is she wants to make sure that she wants to ask a question and she wants the students to have a response. So on Ziplet, when you hit the little plus button in the corner, you'll get ask a question, create a class, or import a class, and then you're going to hit ask a question. So you can either type a question, or what's really nice if the teacher is having trouble coming up with one or just wants to try something different, there's all these different templates that could help her as well. So for this one, I hit lesson reflection, and then it comes up with these few little examples like, how well did you understand today's lesson? What is one thing you'd like me to explain more clearly? What it was the most important thing you learned in today's class and why is it important? For this example, I click that one, and then after you click it, you're going to click next. So after you click next, you're going to get this screen, and it's going to have ask now, or you could schedule a time. And this would be nice because she could set it for like 10 minutes before class ends, and then it would go off at that time. And she doesn't have to worry about having to set it at that time, and she can focus on teaching the lesson. And then, or she could also save it for later. And then there's options. This is give students the option to respond anonymously. She could either keep that on, but she'll probably want to turn that off, so she'll be able to, if there's an individual student that she wants to see what they're struggling with, that's how she'd be able to do that. And then over here is just what it's going to look like for the student. And then you're just going to click ask now.
And it's also really nice that the other students cannot see what other people write, so they don't have to worry about like saying that they understand it when they really don't.
So then after the question goes live, you're just going to have this screen right here. And if you want to see like the results and stuff, you're going to click this little circle with the 3 lines. And on this screen, you'll get a lot of the most used words. Now, this could be helpful if she's like, did a question like, what did you not understand? And if they would either say synonyms or antonyms, and they could write that, and then she'd be able to see this is what they didn't understand and this is what they did. And then if you did scroll down, you'd be able to see the individual responses. Okay, so I'm going to do another example of something else she could do. So once again, I want to ask a question, and we're going to do the template again, and I hit the lesson reflection. And then for this one, I'm going to do how well did you understand today's lesson? And then you're going to click next. And I also thought this would be a cool idea because for this one, there's scale and there's 1 from 7, 1 being not at all, and 7 being completely understood. So this would be helpful. And then this, you could require students to provide a text response. And this could be like, I put a 1 because I don't understand this of the lesson, or I put a 7 because I understand that this means this. So that is very helpful for her as well. So then once again, once she clicks next, she'll get the same screen. She can schedule a time, give students the option to respond anonymously. And then this is what it's going to look like for the students. So a little bit different. And then she'll just click ask now. So once again, I just went to that, I clicked on that circle with the 3 lines, and that's how I got to this screen. And this tells you the scale. So it shows you how many students gave a scale. So she would be able to see, okay, students didn't really understand this lesson. So when I make my lesson plan, I need to be able to fit that in for tomorrow. And this is really nice because these responses go in right away. So she'll be able to see it right away. So she has enough time to adjust her lesson plan for the next day.
So this is just a picture. This could be what students look like in the classroom using this. And the reason why we chose Liplet is our tech demo assignment for this week is because I've seen it before in a class and I just felt like it was really useful and it helped me. And I feel like it's always good to help not just the teacher, but the student and learning. But yeah, that was our week 9 assessment.